This is UniTalk, the podcast series of the University of Debrecen. We've saved you a seat. In each episode, we'll show you a different aspect of life at UD. Students, professors, and researchers will take you behind the scenes to talk about their life, work, and passion.
Hello everyone, this is UniTalk. I'm Dory. I'm here with one of my colleagues, Esther, today.
Hi.
And also Phoebe, who is a student at the University of Debrecen and also one of our student ambassadors. Hi, Phoebe.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. My name is Phoebe, as you heard. I am from South Africa, and currently I am studying chemical engineering. I am on my third year, and I've been here in Hungary since the year 2018.
How come you chose the University of Debrecen? Where did you hear about the university?
Oh, wow. So I was in South Africa, and by that time I had already made a choice on what I wanted to study, which was chemical engineering. But then I realized that there is more opportunities to study abroad, like with the Stipendium Mangericum Scholarship. And when I saw that it's being offered, and it also offers the degree program that I want to study, which I had already started doing a little bit in South Africa. So I was like, yeah, this will be a great opportunity. And just with Stipendium Mangericum, you get to choose like the country, which is Hungary. But then for me to get to choose Debrecen was just a click on YouTube. All the beautiful views, every single thing about the city was just so, like, it was just calling my name. I'm like, I need to be in that city. It's so green. It's so lively. Yeah, it just looked so beautiful. And I loved that they had a program which also someone who was studying in this university like the year before, like she was already here and she was also from South Africa. So I asked her what she's studying, and it was biochemical, which is very close to chemical. So by then, after talking a little bit, I realized that, yeah, this is actually a good place. She loves it. She's enjoying it. She's getting the benefits of chemical engineering. So yeah, I'm coming here. That's how I landed here.
And how come you chose chemical engineering, which is not usually something that many girls choose as their first choice?
Oh, wow.
Were you very good at chemistry?
Oh, no. It's actually very funny because I keep telling everybody this, that I chose something that was so difficult for me in high school, because when it comes to the way I look at life, sometimes is that I need something that will keep me on my toes. I need to be challenged. And I literally looked at my high school report card, and my chemistry was one of the worst. Of course, better worst. You get my point, like worst, but still good enough to do chemical engineering. It was like the better worst. So I was like, it means this challenged me in high school. So it will possibly keep on challenging me, because if I'm not challenged, I will get bored and possibly not work really hard on it. So I was like, you know what? Chemistry was really dealing with me. Now I want to deal with it. So let's go for chemical engineering.
But did you enjoy it nevertheless? Like, even if you struggled with it, like, were you interested at all? Or were you just like, no, I'm doing this now, like, out of spite?
Oh, wow. You know, chemistry has like the part where you would do like lab practices. Mm-hmm. So those were my favorite. Even my high school teacher knew that I would write my test and get fairly good grades. But when it comes to the lab practices and everything, I'm so excited. It'll be like, today's experiment day. I am like one of the first in front, wanting to see how they're mixing things and seeing like the bubbles come up, you know. By then I didn't even know what it meant. Now I'm just like, okay. But I mean, like, seeing all the different things that were being done in my high school experiment lab, I was like, okay, this might be a little bit difficult theoretically, but I love what I'm doing. Like, when I look at the experiments that are being done. So I truly loved the creativity part of it, the making something that you would never think anyone could make. So I loved it. I did love it. I just could not take that love to theory very, very well. Yeah.
But now you're graduating soon, so I guess it all worked out in the end, right?
Oh, yeah. I actually cannot believe it. I keep thinking, how am I on my 6th semester, which is just the second last semester before I am done. It really, like, when you do something that you start by just liking a little bit, the more you trap yourself in this one course, the more you'll have to start finding your way into how to love it. Also doing the program, like, you find a way to love it. You find a topic or a certain module or a course that interests you, and you go fully deep in with it. And that's what I did.
You said that Debrecen was calling you, chemistry was calling you, and what was your favorite part in it?
Oh, like when I came to the university, firstly, we just did general chemistry, which is more like high school chemistry with just a touch of
basics.
Yeah, just basics and everything, which was good for me. And because I did foundation year, firstly, when I came here, I also got like a good foundation for chemistry. So that foundation year was actually very, very essential, just because I did well in high school, right? But then my chemistry knowledge still needed a little bit of, more sharpening. So that introduced me on the gap that I needed to fill between my high school and my university. So during my foundation year, made me feel more confident into entering into like my first year in chemistry and chemical engineering. And that's when I started doing a subject we called organic chemistry. And if my classmates were here, or the rest of everybody who is doing chemical engineering will all say, oh, that is such a difficult course. But I told you guys, I love challenges. I was like, you know what? I need to understand this organic chemistry. I need to deal with it. Yeah. So
and now that became your favorite subject?
That became my favorite. And the beauty about it is it's organic chemistry. So we get to learn about mixing things and doing things organically, things which are real life. We were extracting coffee the other time. So I was like, hey, I have coffee at home, like something you can see, because mostly chemistry, it's all these compounds that you write, which you can never see truly if you open with your eyes. But then organic chemistry showed me that there are practical ways of doing chemistry, and that's how I actually started liking it and started wanting to go deeper into making my own.
And I know that you actually put it to good use.
Yeah.
You not only liked it, but you put it into practice because you started your own business.
Oh, yes.
Tell us more about it, Phoebe.
Oh, wow. So what happened is that because I'm from South Africa, every year when I go home, I stock up on hair products and let's say some other kinds of maybe makeup products that I would not find here in Hungary. And we went through COVID, and because of that, I could not go home. The challenge with that was that I can't stock up. If I cannot stock up, it means my hair is going to be dry. Or I can try to use the products that are offered here, but then they don't work quite as well as the ones back home would. And that's when the thoughts started coming up, like, I ran out and possibly everyone else has run out, especially if we are all kind of trapped on lockdown and we cannot go home. Then the solution should be just making it. And what happened was I stood with an empty bottle and I looked around it. I'm like, come on, why this can't be so difficult? But when I looked at it 2 years ago and I was just still like first year, it just looked like, okay, interesting. But now I was like, wait, I know what this means. Like, I have seen some of these words at school, like aqua, they just means water, it's just written in a scientific way. Like, they would write like sunflower oil as like the Latin name of it, which is so big and so...
You can read the matrix.
Yeah, literally. And I was just like, hey, if I could just translate these long names into normal common names, I can find out what they use to make this. And then using the formulation skills that we learned in organic chemistry, I could be able to remake it and use it for myself. And that's what I did in the beginning. I did not intend to have a business, truth be told. In the beginning, I was just like...
You were testing out your products on yourself.
Yeah. Actually, it was not even testing. I was like desperate to just use something on my head. I was just
to
like...
have something.
Yeah, to really have something.
And did it work?
Well, I used it and I did not know it was working. It was just going on by every day for me. I'm like, okay, this spray is good. I just add a bit of olive oil that I get from Aldi. Like, it was not really very, very complicated. It was just normal things. And I just kept spraying on my hair until one day I went to the post office and this Hungarian man, he could not really communicate with me. It was an old man. He was like, oh, Sep. And he's pointing on my hair like, Sep.
Oh,
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Like, I'm like, oh, my hair's I'm like, oh. And I'm like, thank you very much. And I just smiled. I'm like, well, if you knew what I put in here, but thank you. That very same day, I have a friend who sells cakes here. So I went to take a cake that I ordered from her. And she was like, what are you putting on your hair? Like, it's so beautiful. Then I'm like, you don't want to know. Is this something I'm just mixing up randomly just to survive? She's like, whatever you're mixing up, I also wanted to, okay? I was like, laughing. Then when I left the house, I'm like, was she serious?
Maybe I should make into thing like give it to friends maybe.
Like on the same day I'm getting 2 compliments. I mean, I always have this hair out every day. Why today, And it was the day I just put it on in the morning.
That was the sign.
Yeah, it really was. I was like, actually, I need to start doing something, not just for me now. Like when she also mentioned that, mine also ran out. I realized that there's probably hundreds more, who are also in the same situation as me. And I found something that is helping me currently. Maybe it could also help them too. So let's see what we can do. That's how it began.
So first you gave it to friends and then it kind of just spread. Word spread through campus and everybody was like calling Phoebe for hair product.
Because starting a business, it means packaging, getting the ingredients, doing some marketing. How could you handle with all these issues?
The beauty about chemical engineering here is that you also have some courses like economics, and also there's a elective that it's offered to every single department or course or whatever you're studying. It's called, I forgot the name, but I know that it's called, the full name is something about entrepreneurship foundations and innovations. And I was like, okay, let me apply for this elective. And that elective gave us although we had to at the end submit our own kind of business, whatever it was as a team, what I loved about that elective is that the PowerPoints we received or the information we learned was kept. I still have it, which was the priority about innovating or making business and starting things. So I got to start using a bit of that information, a bit of the economics that I'm learning at school. We also have a subject in my first year, second semester, called civil law, which is also telling about the laws that I need to abide by if I really want to start my product. Although it was talking about other different kind of laws, but I remember the focus on selling things or starting things, about lawyers and having all these patents and everything. So it was so interesting because I got to learn about how things are working currently in Hungary. And in cosmetics, Europe currently is the most difficult to get approval of with your cosmetics.
All the regulations.
All the regulations, So if you get it right here, you get it everywhere, literally. So with all of this knowledge, and because it was a COVID time, which my classes were online, I had more time now, after the classes, because I'm just home, no time to walk out and greet people. I had more time to also take extra courses to understand more about different herbs, because that's what I wanted to work with. My hair, which is Afro 4C type hair, mostly it needs okay, I think everybody's hair needs herbs. Truth be told, everybody's hair needs organic and natural, and that's what I wanted to go for, because if you're going to deal with natural things, especially if I'm going to be making it at home, it's much easier than doing chemical things, which will need lots of regulations and care, because you can't make an explosion in the kitchen. I started selling it, firstly giving it to a few of my friends, and when it ran out, they were like, hey, do you still have more? I'm like, I do, but wait for it. It's getting branded now.
That's so cool. Back to that, what you said about your hair type. How can you check somebody's, how do you know who has what hair type?
If I could look at you guys, all right, basically there are 4 different kinds of hair types, from straight up until coily. So if your hair is quite straight just meaning that after you wash it, what's the curl type that's being shown, because most of the time when it gets dry, it can get frizzy, so you won't really tell exactly how your hair is, but mostly you check when your hair is wet, how the curls are, how the curves are. So this type is being ranged into curl patterns. If your hair is wet and it still goes straight, it's type 1. If it goes a little bit wavy, that's when you're going to type 2, until the degree of the curls.
All right. And yours is type 4.
Mine is type 4, meaning that the curls are very, very wavy, meaning that if I have to apply oil, it's not even if I have to apply oil, the natural oils that our scalp produces are not enough to get to the tip, to get to travel through the hair until the tip. Unlike type 1 hair, your hair can easily get oily because your natural oils that you make from your scalp can travel through because it's straight, there are no distractions. Right. But if it is curly and everything, it takes time. That's why you need supplement, more oil to add on it in order to make it more rich and more workable, because it's so hard to uncoil everything.
All right. So your products are for all 4 types of hair, or are you focusing on just one?
When I made it with a special focus on one, which was the coily. But with time, I realized that the difference between applying it into the different coils is how you use it. So you can use the exact same thing, which I also recommend to mostly my type 1 customers. I tell them that have it overnight, before you sleep, put it on. It is going to travel to the ends, and it's going to be very, very oily, which is not good when you're working outside. But you have it on at night and cover your head, and in the morning you wash it the way you probably wash your hair. And when you wash it, the job would have been done during the night, because these are herbs. It's going to fight with your dandruff, fight with it's just gonna treat any fungal issues that you might have on your hair, or any scalp issues that you might have had. And also, if you're losing hair, it's actually good for that. Mostly hair growth was something that, no matter how many things we want to solve, hair growth is something that everyone wants to solve, every time. So making a product that also had hair growth as a main function, and with something like dandruff control, that's like a side function. So that's it. But with us, we can't wash it off in the morning because it hasn't done anything. We have to leave it on, and then we can wash it off maybe once a month or twice a month maximum.
All right, so you use the same products, just different applications.
Yeah, different ways.
And how many different products have you got?
Wow, officially, because I get my products first tested and everything. So I have official products and products which...
Where can you test? Where can you do such tests?
Well, it depends where you are. If you're in South Africa, there's many labs that are offering it. But even here in Hungary, there are labs also around Hungary that can offer you to test. Mostly, you just have to submit your product.
And then they approve it, and then you're free to go?
Yeah, they will give you a paper which is standardized and give you that how this will help you know how to store it, how long can it stay. Because if I just give you a product without really putting on a best before date, you could use it for too long, and once something starts happening, you think, oh, your product is not good, but you've used it beyond that line. So it's
just expired.
Yeah, so it's just expired. So it's very essential for me to know that, and I cannot know it by just mixing and saying, this oil looks like it can stay for 1 year. No, it's mostly stability testing. And actually recently I found out that the university also has testings. I was like, wait, how am I only knowing this today? But yeah, in the agricultural faculty, because they deal mostly with herbs and they formulate things too. Even in pharmaceutical part, which is also part of chemistry, they do stability testing. And some students who are studying masters can actually officially test your products. Yeah, so
how many official products have you got?
Okay, official products, I have one. But then in South Africa, I'm currently making more, detangler, and hoping to also finish my butter, shampoo, and conditioner. So with those ones, they have more water than oil. So when you're dealing with something that has more water than oil, it means it has a bigger chance of being contaminated by bacteria. So the testing process is way longer than a water-free product. So with oils, I can just submit 3 months, it's ready. But with detangler, with the shampoo, this is something that is very, very
sensitive.
Yeah, very sensitive, and we cannot make any mistake because, well, no one should come and sue me.
Yeah, once it's bulk produced, then you...
And have you got a laboratory where you mix all the secret ingredients?
Oh, yeah, my kitchen. Oh, well. Well, basically, because this is homemade products, it's very essential that even when I put it on my Instagram bio or anywhere, I do write that this is homemade, because it's very important that they know that, because during production, when I submit for testing, they also need to know the kind of conditions you are working in, so that even after they've approved it, they can even ask to come and see my home or see how I change the kitchen into a safe place to make my products, which is quite easy because I'm dealing with oils, I'm dealing with things that you eat. Because I am focused on organic things, I always make sure that the things that are in my ingredients are something that you can eat too. If you cannot eat it, it's bad for your health, so I am very, very looking at the different ingredients, because that's very important. We can't just put something on our hair which you would never swallow. Even if by mistake you eat my oil, don't do it though. It'll still be okay, because it's just oils, it's just lavender, it's just some really good herbs that might not taste that great, but are so good for your hair. So yeah, mostly I'm working at home, but back home in South Africa, I'm trying to get like a space, like to work in a better space than here. Because here, I'm just selling to my friends so far and to a few students. If I started this earlier, I really, really would have already tried to get it on the market here in Hungary, because it's also very possible too.
Yes, you also told me that it's not just you, a student who started a business. Actually, you know of many others who study in Debrecen, and they have a side business and they are thriving in the community with their product.
Wow, the community here is so beautiful. The students are here with goals. Let me just put it to you, like, when you come here all the way from your home to come study in a different place, you want to come out with something. You want to make it even more than what is offered. If you're just going to get your mechanical engineering degree, you want to support it by either being engaged into really good research or really good, let's say, simulations that you are part of throughout that you can take back home with. So many students are actually doing way more than their degrees. So as I said earlier, that I went to fetch cake from a friend who actually bakes cake. I have friends who make cakes. I have friends who also make some of the foods that we eat in South Africa or back home in Africa, and they sell it to different students. And also, I don't know if you know about the food delivery company, Visit Me.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
international.
Hey, did you guys see all the cars everywhere? Like the app, the discounts, like you can see it was really made for students by a student. So it's so beautiful, because the people who also make it, like who starts businesses here, they do have students in mind, because they were once students too. Like me, I can't just go and price my thing times 20 expensive, because I know I need to afford it and I know how essential it is. So yeah, people are really starting businesses here. It's very beautiful.
That's
Even
so
your
great.
Mother, Phoebe, you could teach your mother how to start her own business. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, with my mom, she was the one who was actually pushing me way more than I wanted, I was like, Mom, I can actually make this thing. She's like, you should make them for real. And then when I went home last year, I was like, Mommy, we need to make these. And I'm like, I'm going to teach you, because I won't be here, to come back every few months when the bottles have run out. And by then it was the first time, so I didn't know how long they're going to take to run out. And it's so difficult to call and say, add this, add that, just weigh it on this, So I had to make sure that I teach her. And after teaching her, she was so happy, because currently she's a lecturer in the university too. So she already has some science background, and it was easier for me to explain it to her. And when she started, right now it's currently ongoing because of her.
So she was once shown how to do it, how to bottle up the product, and now she's doing it real fast.
She's actually, I feel like she's even doing it more than me sometimes. She'll be like, oh, these bottles are sold. I'm like, how are you selling faster than me? I thought I'm the one with energy here and should be going out. So she's doing a lot.
And what would you like to do once you graduate? Are you going back home? What are your plans with your business, with your career?
Yeah, so basically, I have really made it a challenge again. But this is actually a challenge that I really like, and discovered that this is something I truly enjoy, to use my chemical engineering qualification in the form of using it to start a business, I feel like I've been equipped with everything here. And surely if I just go back and work in another company, it will be good, but it's very, very easily it can happen that I go to a company and work and forget what I actually wanted to do, especially after receiving money that will be coming each and every single month. Well, the business won't give you that. So I really want to focus on it. If I take a time to just fully focus on my business with no distractions of getting a job or anything, then it will help me know that I need to eat and I will need to work harder on it. And that's what I want to do. I want to fully go on and focus on my business. And if I do decide to do masters, it's definitely going to be masters in the pharmaceutical sciences part of it, which is also offered here in this university. If I do chemical engineering and specialize in pharmaceutical sciences, you get to still continue to deal with formulation and coupling, just mixing and making new things. So it's one of the two ways. Yeah.
And would you want to stay in Hungary?
I loved Hungary. Honestly, the only thing that will stop me is if my business has not yet taken off into the level that I wanted it to. But for sure. Actually, the beautiful thing is that currently the research that I'm working on is in pharmaceutical science for my thesis. So it's very, very close also to what I'm doing. And even if I could come back, I would possibly still work on the same department with the same supervisors who are so lovely. Yeah, so for sure.
That's great. It's so good to hear success stories from our students like this, because usually we meet you like in an academic setting and we don't know much about each of your lives, what's going on, what you do in your free time. But it's so refreshing to see how you find your footing in a whole different country and succeed in so many things.
Yeah, and it's so inspiring as well to meet such a motivated and enthusiastic student like you, Phoebe. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, and absolutely the best of luck with your business and with your thesis as well.
Thank you very much.
For everybody listening, if you would like to talk to either Phoebe or some of our other student ambassadors who are actual students at the university and ask them your non-academic questions, you can go to edu.unitap.hu. You can go to the section for student ambassadors. You can write them a message and they will be more than happy to reply.
And of course, you can read more about our English degree programs offered for our international students. We hope to see you soon on campus as well. Once again, thank you, Phoebe. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.